Hello there, welcome to the Data Armory. In this session, we are going to learn about Jupyter Notebooks. When you want to work on a data science project, you will always need to set up your computer, and more specifically, where to write your code. It will be good to use the example of a writer. Whenever a writer wants to write, they'll need some tools that will enable them to do the writing. And you know that they'll need a pen or a paper to help them do their writing job. Another example is that of a farmer who, before they get into their work, they'll need tools that will help them to break up the ground in their farm. And in this case, a farmer will always need a hoe. The same happens in the data science field, whereby when a data scientist sits down to begin a project, the data scientists will need tools to write their code. And that is why it's important to understand some of these essential tools when starting any data science project. So to begin with, as we have said that in this session we are learning about Jupyter Notebooks, let us ask ourselves, what is a Jupyter Notebook? It is a widely used web-based application or a browser-based notebook that is essential and is easy to use for data science projects, since with it, one can easily collaborate, share, and also publish their data science results. Also, it's essential to know that it is essential in publishing results because with it, one can combine code, images, comments, plots, and much more. To learn more about the Jupyter Notebooks, you can go to this link, and that will lead you to Project Jupyter, whereby there's a lot. This is the Project Jupyter official website, where there's a lot that you can learn about Jupyter Notebooks. It's always essential to go to the official websites of these tools and see what is written there. So coming back to our notebook, definitely what we are using here is also a Jupyter Notebook, whereby you see this markdown. This is a Jupyter Notebook, and it's what we are talking about. So you can refer to the documentation and to get more information about Jupyter Notebooks. Here we are just giving a summary of what a Jupyter Notebook is for anyone who has sat down to begin their data science project, and also for a beginner who is caught between a rock and a hard place, not knowing where to write their data science project. So having said why it's essential when it comes to publishing results, it's also essential to know that it is browser-based, because when you start Jupyter Notebook, it will open in your default browser. So depending on the default browser that you are using in your computer, when you start it, it will open in that browser. That's why we say that it is browser-based. Also, Jupyter Notebook supports over 40 programming languages, and some of the languages are like Julia, Python, and R, among other languages, because we have said 40 languages and we have only mentioned 3 languages. Another thing to note is that it is possible to run Jupyter Notebook on your computer without internet connection. That's why we say that it is browser-based, and when we say that it is browser-based, you don't have to have internet connection for it to run. But there are also notebooks that can run in the cloud, and such as Google Collaboratory Project and Jupyter Notebooks that are run on Binder. So in various online platforms whereby they offer tutorials on coding tutorials, you'll find some of them are running cloud-based Jupyter Notebooks, and you'll find them running them on Binder. Some of them are running them on Google Collaboratory Project. If you wish to install Jupyter Notebook, which is what we'll be doing in our next section, you need to read this documentation, which gives you the installation process in this link. If you don't understand what happens as has been recorded here, in our next section we'll be doing it practically. We'll be downloading the notebook practically. So you should not worry about that, but it will take you to this page whereby it talks about the Jupyter Notebook installation, starting the notebook. Then there is the user documentation, configuration, contributor documentation. So it's always important to look at these documentations. As a data science student, one of the things that should be at the very foundation of everything that you do is to read documentations, and that is why we have put that link here, that if you wish to install Jupyter Notebook, you should go to this documentation and see the process that they have highlighted there. But don't worry about that, because in the next session, we'll be seeing how to install the Jupyter Notebook. Now, we can also know that Jupyter Notebooks can be used for all data science tasks, and that is what makes it one of the most useful tools in the data science community. We know there are a lot of tools in the data science community, and as technology continues to advance, we continue to see more and more tools coming to the help of the data science community. But so far, to where we have reached in this age and time, one of the most important tools in the data science community is the Jupyter Notebooks, and that's why it's essential for anyone who is venturing into the data science field to understand what Jupyter Notebooks are and how to use them. Now, that means that Jupyter Notebooks can be used for data cleaning, transformation, numerical simulation, and there is also exploratory data analysis, data visualization, statistical modeling, machine learning, deep learning, among other tasks. So these are some of the tasks which can be done on Jupyter Notebooks. Now, while Jupyter Notebooks can run as a standalone tool, Anaconda is one of the data science platforms or distributions that is preferable when installing Jupyter Notebooks. We know very well that it can run as a standalone tool. For example, if you go to this site, you see that you'll be given the installation process of having it as a standalone tool. But also, there are distributions. There are some data science distributions which are preferable when it comes to installing Jupyter Notebooks. And the distribution that this session prefers when you want to install Jupyter Notebook is the Anaconda distribution. So we ask ourselves, what is the Anaconda distribution? But to learn more about the Anaconda distribution, we have said that it's always important to go to the official websites of these tools. Like the official website of Anaconda is here, anaconda.com, and it will tell you more about the Anaconda. Just interact with the website, and it will tell you more about Anaconda. But in this session, let us ask ourselves, what is Anaconda? Now, if you check Anaconda's website, you will get to understand that it is a prepackaged data science software distribution which was built by data scientists for data science, and it comes with several packages. Now, if you wish to know what packages are, is that packages are tools that one uses to accomplish specific data science projects. So we have seen that the most important thing or why this Anaconda distribution is famous in the data science world is because it comes with several prepackaged data science tools which have been specifically built by data scientists and for data scientists. Now, the tools that are found in Anaconda can be used for exploring datasets, modeling datasets, and visualizing them. And as we had noted here, that one of the tools that will help in this, in exploring data, in visualizing data, is Jupyter Notebooks. And one of the tools that is in Anaconda is Jupyter Notebooks, and that's why we are mentioning about this Anaconda distribution. Therefore, to get started with a data science project, one of the suitable tools is Anaconda. Anaconda can be said to be an all-in-one store for data scientists. That is Anaconda, and that is the power of this distribution. That is, it is an all-in-one store for data scientists. Now, some of the packages that come with it are NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, scikit-learn, and Jupyter Notebooks. And our interest in this session is on Jupyter Notebooks. It is one of the packages that come pre-installed in this Anaconda distribution. And we ask ourselves, why is Anaconda useful? Now, if you need a toolbox to do your data science projects, then Anaconda is that toolbox that has some of the popular packages. And if you also want to know about the installation process, now you can read the documentation of Anaconda installation process. you'll get let it load. You'll get that installation process in this link. Installing it on Windows. You'll also have it. You also have the documentation on installing it on Mac OS, on Linux, depending on the computer that you have. So for the installation process, you'll check the documentation to see how, and you'll read how to download it and on a computer, and also how to use it in your computer. So in the next tutorial, we shall see the installation process of Anaconda. And the reason why we will be installing Anaconda, it is because in Anaconda distribution there is a pre-installed, is that the right word? There is a pre-packaged tool, which is Jupyter Notebooks, which is the interest of this session. So that is what we were doing in this session, just giving a brief overview of what a Jupyter Notebook is and the best distribution from where you can get Jupyter Notebooks, in as much as it can also come as a standalone tool. But in the data science field, it is famous to be a tool that is used after installing, to be used since it is to be used when you download the Anaconda distribution, because of the power that it has, since it comes with packages which are prepackaged data science tools, which are essential in the data science field. So for the installation process, as we have said, you look at this you look at this documentation, but in the next tutorial we shall be getting into the details of how to download the Anaconda distribution software. So that has been our session today. Let us meet in the next section and see how to install Jupyter Notebooks. You have a good day.